You people in Geneva walk on blood. An African friend of a staff member of the WCC gave his critique of Switzerland with its gains from the dirty money of despots and tax cheats. But it might be a rather dramatic paraphrase of the prophet Amos. Hear this, you that trample on the needy and bring ruin to the poor in the land. Amos was an angry prophet, a strangely contemporary one. Centuries ago, he warned Switzerland about the creep towards keeping the stores open on Sunday, with his caricatures of the shopkeepers who say, "When will the Sabbath be over so that we may offer wheat for sale?" Amos wouldn't know, of course, that you could just go across the border into France. Or do you suppose Amos would have been in front of IKEA with a sign or shouting, "Hear this, you buying the poor for silver"? Well, maybe he calculates that IKEA is a little better than Walmart and Conforama and gives them a pass. It's hard to keep track of all these corporations and who's doing what and not doing what. But he was already talking about the manufacturing of running shoes. Hear this, you buying the needy for a pair of sandals. No prophet is as angry at injustice as Amos. He probably didn't get invited to many dinner parties. But his anger matches the mood of our time, when lots of people are angry. Rage is in these days. It sells TV programs and wins elections. But the prophet Amos would not recognize the anger of the UDC in Switzerland or the Front National in France. Injustice was the key problem for Amos, not immigration. And if you listen to the Tea Party in the US, the federal government is the enemy. I couldn't pass this quote up. Gail Collins, a columnist for the New York Times, recently wrote, "The new empowered Tea Party Republicans preach their national agenda, which seems to involve not spending federal money on anything George Washington didn't personally shop for." Anger is the current mood. From protesters against nuclear power in Berlin yesterday, to the strikes in France against changing the pension system, to the marches in Afghanistan against that stupid fool in Florida threatening to burn Korans. Are you angry too? Because I recognize in myself an ongoing anger. Maybe I'm just mad at getting old. Or maybe injustice works on me in a way that it didn't used to. Did anybody else sort of get a little bit angry this week when yesterday Ban Ki-moon is pleading for another $1 billion for Pakistan for the UN? But earlier in the week, the US government announced that it was selling arms to Saudi Arabia for $60 billion. And this rather enlightened US administration parades that as a victory for US jobs, and I'm wondering, couldn't somebody have questioning what else $60 billion might be doing? If one has $60 billion to spend, maybe spending it on the needs of people is a better long-term strategy than putting it into helicopters. the poor go pleading, while the arms merchants find their way to the secret Swiss bank accounts. Surely, angry Amos would have something to say. One time when I was a young pastor, I got a call on Monday morning from a parishioner. She was furious with me. I had preached on Amos. It's not the first time I've preached on Amos. But she didn't mention that she was angry because of my prophetic zeal or even my clearly socialistic tendencies with all that concern for the poor. No, I had preached on Amos and didn't even mention that Amos was a farmer. And I was in a congregation full of farmers. And how could I fail to say that a farmer could be the mouthpiece of God?